Thousands of trucks carrying goods from China are backed up at the Kazakhstan-Russia border. Transport operators see the situation as a sign that Kazakhstan is moving toward closer compliance with Western sanctions imposed on Russia after its 2022 invasion of Ukraine. So, one of Russia's main supply routes from China has been shut down. The border with Kazakhstan is fully stopped and over 5,000 trucks are stuck, inspections are ongoing, and goods are being confiscated. Drones, EW gear, batteries, components, nothing is getting through. Kazakh authorities said the congestion stems from stricter enforcement by Russian customs against grey market imports. A source told Kommersant that both Moscow and Astana have stepped up inspections and raids aimed at identifying unscrupulous shippers. The congestion mainly concerns dual-use goods subject to sanctions including electronics, drones and Western brand products, said Maxim Yemelin, deputy head of logistics at the SLK Logistics Company. Since mid-September, customs officers have inspected 99% of trucks suspected of carrying sanctioned goods, he added. Non-sanctioned cargo usually clears the border within 3 to 5 days. Yaroslav Belousov, director of international transport operations at FM Logistic in Russia, confirmed that large numbers of trucks were awaiting inspection due to tightened controls at the border. Overall, it can be concluded that the formation of truck congestion on the territory of Kazakhstan at the entrance to Russia coincided with the deployment of mobile teams of the Federal Customs Service to this section of the border, which indeed indicates increased control by the Russian Federation. Mobile groups stop freight vehicles selectively, but carriers, naturally, cannot predict who exactly will be chosen. During the inspection, it is necessary to provide the entire necessary package of documents for the transported goods, while trucks may also be sent for additional inspection. The Royal Air Force has officially retired its MQ-9 Reaper drones after 18 years of service, and now all eyes are on what happens next, Ukrainian defense media outlet Defense Express reported. With Ukraine constantly searching for better ways to shoot down Russian Shahid drones, some are wondering if Britain's veteran Reapers could be the next Shahid hunters. But as always, things aren't that simple, Defense Express noted. The RAF wrapped up the final flight of its MQ-9 Reaper fleet this fall, marking the end of nearly 2 decades in the sky. Since first entering service in October 2007, the drones logged more than 173,000 flight hours, about 7,200 days of non-stop flying, or, as the RAF put it, the equivalent of 50 trips to the moon and back. In their early days, the British Reapers flew missions over Afghanistan, striking targets and gathering intelligence. After losing 1 aircraft in 2008, the UK expanded its fleet to 10. Now, they'll be replaced by the newer MQ-9B Protector, which has greater range, endurance, and improved systems across the board, Defense Express noted. On paper, retired Reapers sound like a perfect fit for Ukraine, long-range, heavily equipped, and capable of patrolling the skies for hours while hunting Russian Shahids. But transferring them isn't as straightforward as it sounds. Because the MQ-9s are made by American corporation General Atomics, Washington would have to sign off on any deal. So far, the Biden administration has consistently said no to giving Ukraine these drones, citing concerns that sensitive technology could fall into Russian hands. What a future Trump administration might decide is anyone's guess, Defense Express notes. Even if approval came through, Ukraine would still need to build the whole ecosystem around the drones, training operators and mechanics, setting up infrastructure, securing spare parts, and maintaining data links. And that's not cheap. There's also the problem of vulnerability. The MQ-9 is a large, slow-moving aircraft that would be an easy target for Russian air defenses if it flew too close to the front. It's a powerful tool, but not built for high-threat environments. Still, Defense Express analysts state there's an intriguing idea floating around, repurposing the Reaper as a Shahid killer. Armed with AIM-9 missiles, the drone could intercept slow-moving targets like Iranian-made Shahids at a fraction of the cost of scrambling fighter jets, and without risking a pilot's life. It's not a perfect solution, but it could help ease the pressure on Ukraine's air defenses, which face nightly drone and missile attacks across multiple regions.
Footage from last week's attacks on the Russian ports of Tuapse and Novorossiysk shows a Ukrainian unmanned surface vessel carrying several fiber-optic drones in fold-out compartments along its hull. Forbes reports. The publication notes that the fiber-optic connection allows drones to fly without radio signals, making them immune to electronic jamming, one of the biggest threats in modern drone warfare. This is the first recorded use of fiber-optic drones launched from the sea. Until now, Ukraine has used unmanned aerial vehicles which are resistant to jamming primarily on land. However, mounting them on offshore platforms extends their range far beyond the coastline, making each such ship a mobile drone carrier. It is noted that Ukraine hinted at this possibility back in December 2024. At that time, the Ukrainian Navy published a video showing naval drone carriers launching FPV attack drones from internal compartments. These drones were installed on Magura-class unmanned naval vessels. The modified hulls are believed to have had hatches that opened into the sea, allowing FPV drones to take off. They are likely protected from saltwater and weather conditions. Given the Ukrainian Navy's limited human resources, the country relies on cheap, unmanned systems designed for efficient use and single use, noted Cornell University autonomous systems expert Gregory Falco. The article states that both Ukraine and Russia are currently experimenting with ways to increase the range of their drones, particularly conventional FPV and fiber-optic variants that are resistant to jamming. The potential of these drones has largely reached its peak, but integrating them with other systems such as naval drone carriers, land platforms, or airborne launchers opens up new possibilities, says defense analyst and author of the Ukraine's Arms Monitor newsletter, Olena Kryzanovskaya. Open-source weapons analyst Roy Gardiner believes this innovation could change the dynamics of the war in the Black Sea. Fiber-optic FPVs carried on naval drone carriers, such as the one discovered near Krasnodar, enables successful strikes against land or sea targets, regardless of electronic countermeasures, Gardiner said. He added that marine fiber-optic FPV is particularly suitable for more remote targets, such as Tuapse and Novorossiysk. Heiner Philipp, an engineer with Technology United for Ukraine, noted that while drones can be shot down with guns, they can also be disabled by cutting the fiber-optic cable mid-flight with simple tools such as scissors or knives. The article states that the appearance of a fiber-optic carrier drone near Krasnodar, as well as a Magura kamikaze drone off the coast of Turkey, indicates that Ukraine's unmanned flotilla is now operating across almost the entire Black Sea. Ukrainian drone developers are currently leaders in the creation of various types of drones for various missions, and this experience is unparalleled even in the most developed economies and industries in the world, said Samuel Bendecht, a senior fellow at the Center for a New American Security.